Alright, so I could definitely look less like crap right now. I definitely wasn't planning on making a video right now. It is the middle of the night, the night before my theory goes up this Thursday, the 25th. I was sitting up, listening to Linkara's History of Power Rangers for the 12th time-ish, and drinking some coffee, scrolling through Tumblr, and waiting for that exact theory to upload, because even though I could go to sleep, and then when I woke up in the morning, it would be uploaded and I could add cards to it then, no, I have to stay up and do it all at once, because if I don't, I'm going to be worried it didn't upload properly. And I see a post on Tumblr referencing an Avatar Studios, and there's the logo right there on screen. This is an article with, what is this? Entertainment Weekly? Yeah, Entertainment Weekly. As of about 6 p.m. Yesterday now, the 24th, this video is probably going up this Friday, so it doesn't pull focus away from that aforementioned theory. So it's been a couple days for you guys. But as of 6 p.m. on the 24th, Nickelodeon has announced the creation of Avatar Studios. A studio headed by the original creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender, with a specific focus on expanding the world of Avatar through animation. And considering that I'm currently reviewing Avatar: The Last Airbender very slowly, I might have to pick up the pace on that, I thought I'd weigh in a little bit, give my thoughts on it right now, on the concept of it right now, right out the gate as part of my 2 Cents series, since this was supposed to be part of my 2 Cents series back when I conceived it, and it's just not a thing I ever do. It says a pretty short article, so I'm just going to read through the whole thing with you guys and then give my thoughts on it. Nickelodeon to expand Avatar: The Last Airbender with creators. First up is an animated film. Holy shit. When the world needed it most, the Avatar has returned. Nickelodeon is launching Avatar Studios, a new division, to create original content spanning animated series and movies based on the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. The network announced Wednesday during Viacom CBS's Investors Day presentation. Original creators and executive producers Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko? Never said that out loud, and I don't remember ever hearing it out loud, so hopefully that's right. I don't know. Will lead the studio as co-chief creative officers. The first project is already lined up, an animated theatrical film set to begin production this year. I'm floored by this announcement, guys. This is great news. In an exclusive statement to EW, that being Entertainment Weekly. Who reads Entertainment Weekly anymore? DiMartino and Konietzko expressed their excitement to develop our franchise and its storytelling on a vast scale in myriad exciting ways and mediums. It's hard to believe it's been 19 years since we created Avatar: The Last Airbender, they said, but even after all that time, there are still many stories and time periods in Aang's world that we are eager to bring to life. We are fortunate to have an ever-growing community of passionate fans that enjoy exploring the Avatarverse as much as we do. It should be fans who enjoy, by the way. People are not objects. And with this new Avatar Studios venture, we have an unparalleled opportunity to develop our franchise and its storytelling on a vast scale in a myriad of exciting ways and mediums. They continued, we are exceedingly grateful to Nickelodeon President Brian Robbins and President of Nickelodeon Animation, Ramsey Nato, for their enthusiasm and respect for the Avatar property, and us as its stewards. From the start, they've supported our ambitious plans and created a positive, proactive environment for us. I guess that's why Korra was originally supposed to be 1 season before it was decided to expand it, and it completely screwed with the story, and also why apparently they didn't get to make the final season of the original show that they wanted to make, because they've always supported their ambitious plans in a positive, proactive environment. Okay, sure. DiMartino and Konietzko concluded, we're excited to be back at Nickelodeon where Avatar began, doing what we do best. Oh, also they put the last few seasons of Korra online and killed the show, but that's beside the point. I think the other thing I said were bad enough. We're excited to be back at Nickelodeon where Avatar began, doing what we do best in the biggest way possible. We can't wait to build the great teams and productions to make all of this fantasy a reality. And then just a kind of a summary of the franchise as it stands right now. And talks about how they've seen a resurgence. It mentions the live action series here, the Netflix series that DiMartino and Konietzko exited from a while back because they didn't agree with the creative direction. I'm starting to wonder now. Apparently that just found its new direction again, or something along those lines. So it makes me wonder if the reason it just did recently is because of this, because this new studio was set up. Maybe this new Avatar studio is going to be put in charge of that, or at least a part of it, because right now, at least in the US, I don't know if this is true everywhere, but at least right now, Netflix and Nickelodeon are affiliates to a point. That's why all of the Snyderverse shows, for the most part, I don't know if all of them literally are, but most of them, if not all of them, are up on Nickelodeon now, even though they're already on one of the other streaming services, CBS All Access, maybe, I don't remember. And why they were able to keep some of the Nickelodeon Power Rangers on Netflix after the deal with Netflix to host the entire extended series of Power Rangers fell through, which really sucks because now I'm going to have to buy the seasons on DVD. Ugh. And man, based on some of the stuff I've been hearing about that live action show, I really hope that ends up being the case. Because man, it sounds like it's going to be terrible. Not as bad as the movie was. It's like the movie, I think when they actually showed bending in the movie, well, it was very unimpressive in terms of its scale. It at least looked like it was happening on screen, right? The movie overall was butt. It was a very bad movie. So I still think this live action show will round out to be, better than that. I can't imagine how it wouldn't, but it sounds absolutely terrible. But even if that's not the case, even if this live action series is still going forward as it was initially planned, and this new Avatar Studios will have nothing to do with it, at least we will have the new Avatar Studios stuff to distract us from that oncoming disaster, hopefully. There's a chance this could go bad, right? But I have really high hopes for this. Like, I haven't read all the graphic novels, and even the ones I have read, it's been a while since I've read them, but they're really solid, and I think could make for some really good, series and movie adaptations. Like some of them better than others. Some of them are a little weird, and I don't like the path they took certain characters down. But they're still solid, and adapting them into an animated medium would be the time to retcon a few things and clean up some plot points that fans didn't really like the first time through, right? What intrigues me the most, though, is that they seem to be suggesting that they're going to be delving into periods within the history of the Avatar world that we haven't seen before, and telling new stories in that world. And that really excites me, because Avatar is not perfect, right? It's not a perfect show. Some people say it is, but they're wrong. Nothing's perfect. I genuinely feel like the creative staff on Avatar was really trying to create an unproblematic and perfect show. And they came really close, I think. Closer than most creative teams do. But there's stuff in Avatar that's not great. What was his name? The guy that teaches Aang how to access the Avatar state. Guru something? Is that what it was? I don't remember. He's just a big heaping pile of stereotypes. I don't even want to get into it. I'm very much not looking forward to when I get to the episode where we properly meet him in my review series, because I don't want to talk about him. He's embarrassing. He's an embarrassing caricature, and I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with it. It's gonna suck. But I do feel like, despite the fact that he's a bunch of stereotypes standing on each other's shoulders, wearing a trench coat of a man, there wasn't any, like, maliciousness behind his creation, right? And that's how I feel about the entirety of the franchise, as I've experienced it up to this point, that there isn't any maliciousness behind the creation of any of these characters or stories. And while I do think that some questionable decisions were made in Korra, and we will eventually get to that later when I hopefully get around to reviewing Korra, like to generalize, the future of the Legend of Korra as it relates to the original series isn't like the darkest possible future, but it's definitely not the brightest either, if that makes sense. And man, that makes it hard to like Korra sometimes, even though, despite its flaws, and despite the fact that it's not as good as the original show, it's still a good show. But despite that, despite the fact that they have a history of telling stories that are sequels or spin-offs to the original that aren't as good, I'm still excited for this, because this is a world I'd really like to revisit. I can only hope that these guys have grown as creators since then, and they bring on the right people to really flesh out their team, expand their team into something great, so that they can create something great. And just in general from reading this, I have really high hopes for this first project and then whatever comes next. But yeah, this has been my 2 cents on this topic. Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, if you could, please like the video and share it with anyone else you think might enjoy my content. I'm trying to get myself out there, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys could help. Either way, though, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.